Hi, everybody. My name is Bob Spearing. I'm MUFON's Director of International Development. Welcome to another edition of MUFON Presents. Tonight, our host will be Fernanda Pires, who is our Director of International Investigations. She will be interviewing Thiago Ticchetti, who is our Brazilian National Director. Thiago is probably one of the most famous UFO researchers in the Western Hemisphere. He is the editor for Brazil's very large UFO magazine called UFO Revista, and he has just written a book, UFO Attacks in Brazil. All of his books are available on Amazon. So, without any further ado, I will turn the floor over to Fernanda and Thiago. Good luck, guys. Have some fun.
Thank you so much, Bob, for that amazing introduction. Bob is MUFON's Director of International Development, and we truly appreciate his leadership and support. So, thank you, Bob. Thank you so much. So, hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode. I am your host, Fernanda Pires, and it's truly a pleasure to have you with us. In this special edition, we will be exploring one of the most fascinating and well documented UFO investigations in Brazil, called Operação Prato or Operation Saucer. Operation Saucer was a Brazilian Air Force investigation that took place in 1977 in the Amazon region after hundreds of local reported strange flying objects and beings of light causing physical trauma and events that became known as chupa chupa. The military documented dozens of UFO encounters, along with photographs and witness testimonies, before the case was eventually classified. To guide us through this remarkable case, I'm joined by my dear friend and fellow researcher, Thiago Luiz Ticchetti. So, welcome, Thiago.
Hello, Fernanda. Hello, everybody. Thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here speaking to all our MUFON members and all the people that like the subject of ufology.
Yes, and Thiago is a MUFON National Director for Brazil. Thiago is also, he investigated the famous Operation Saucer case. He took part of the documentary with George Knapp and later wrote his own book, one that I'm truly proud to be part of. So we have a lot to talk about, Thiago?
Yeah, what happened in Brazil back in 1977 was amazing. And to be very honest, I never heard another type of that cases in any time in a UFO history. We heard about some UFO abductions, a lot of UFO abduction, but nothing like what happened in 1977, 1978. It was something that was let's say out of a blue from the UFO history.
Yeah, and it's a very well documented case. And so to start, Thiago, could you tell our audience what first triggered Operation Saucer back in 1977 and what exactly was happening in the Amazon region that made the Brazilian Air Force decide to launch such large scale investigation?
Well, we don't have the landmark. We don't have a landmark of the tax, the chupa chupa, the vampire lights begun. Um, we know that. Well, we have a point that caught the attention of everybody. It was the incident happening in the Crabs Island, but it was in Maranhão State, not Pará State, when four fishermen were sleeping in a boat after a fishing day, and suddenly at night, a strong ball of light or a strong light just appeared over the boat, and one of them just was killed by that light. Some say that was a ball lighting or a lighting itself, but we don't know the answer for that. It's a mystery. And from that date, from on, we start to have a lot of sightings from people in Maranhão State. Is a closer state to Pará State, and we had this case. The cases start to increase, and people start to get scared. And many people, the first ones to get temptation of that lights in the sky were the fishermen. Were the fishermen. They go to fish very early in the morning, 5, 4 in the morning, and they start to watch and see ball of lights coming in and coming out from the rivers of Amazon. Just to give an idea, a river in Amazon is so big that's just like an ocean. You cannot see the shore, the other side of the shore. So you just see the horizon. You cannot see the land. So it's huge. And they start to see that ball of lights and some ball of lights with shapes, different shapes. And they start to come in and coming out of the rivers, and they start to get very afraid of that, and they start to run away from the cities. They could not fish anymore, and the fish they use the fish to eat and to sell, make money. So the people start to run away from the cities, and the cities became ghost cities, and the mayors of the cities start to get contact with the Brazilian Air Force. Well, if there's something in the sky, you might call the Air Force, and then the militaries just enter in this investigation to try to figure out what happened.
Wow. Um, it's amazing. Thiago, you went to Colares. Um, what did the local population of Colares report seeing during those nights in 1977, 1978?
Well, they start to report ball of lights, different shapes, different sizes, coming in and coming out from the waters, going in and going out to the forest, because the Pará state is in the north of Brazil, in the middle of the jungle of the Amazon forest. So the people start to watch some kind of strange lights that pursue them and start to attack them. They start to either to shoot a laser beam in people, and people when get hit by those laser beams, they became sick, and they went to the hospital. And at the hospital, they took a blood sample,
Mhm.
and the doctors discovered that those people were suffering of anemia. Anemia is the lack of iron in the blood. And they thought, well, it could be the malaria or yellow fever, but there's no other evidence or symptom that could be malaria or yellow fever. And they start to report, well, I was in a bed, I was in my room, I was walking in a city, and I saw a spaceship. Now they're talking about spaceship in the sky that shoot a laser beam and hit me. And people start to watch this, Fernanda. Look at it.
Wow.
This is a photo, official photo of a UFO.
Mhm.
They cannot explain what it was. Things like this, with shape, with some kind of shape. And they could not explain. And then the Brazilian Air Force start to investigate. And they start to get the testimonies and they start to make reports. And the militaries started to see those UFOs. And now we are talking about the Tic Tac, right? Well, in 1997, we had the Tic Tac in Amazon forest.
Mhm.
So there's it's a overwhelming of evidence that something happened there in Colares. That's why the militaries just get to investigate.
And after talking, interviewing these witnesses, you were there. How, like, how were the UFOs or lights typically described by the witnesses? What they were saying, they were describing as like, were they discs, cylinders? Like, can you tell us?
Well, the reports they say at least 8 types of UFOs, and we have all types of UFOs like this
Mm,
classical disc shape.
like disc shape.
Yes, we have this like a ray,
Wow.
like this a cylinder,
Hmm.
a cone, like this with two humanoids inside of it, shooting a laser beam that hit the people, or like this. All kinds, at least 8 types of UFOs. And this shape, look at this shape. This shape was documented by the Brazilian Air Force. Let me find this, is here. It's official document.
Okay. Wow.
They're confidential.
Hmm.
It was confidential. Now it's published.
Hmm.
And the Brazilian Air Force made these reports showing the discs, drawing the discs, the objects. And we have a lot, more than 2,000 pages of documents of this. So what happened there was real. Some people say that, well, it could be a social experiment. Okay, a social experiment where more than 200,000 people saw it, saw UFOs in the skies. More than 2,000 people were attacked by these laser beams. And while I was there investigating and also recording to the alien investigation series at Netflix, I was able to talk with people that live there at Colares. And I spoke with an older man called José Francisco.
Hmm.
And he explained it to me that he saw a UFO in front of him, and that UFO, just like a shape, shoot a laser beam and hit a lady. And then when he felt the line or the laser just going up to the flying, so drop it blood in the floor in the street.
Mhm.
So that thing was solid. That thing was solid. The laser was solid. We don't know what it was, but it's bright and colored. Like inside some report, they say inside of the laser beam, they could see three thin lines, yellow, blue, white, or green or red inside of it, just like a hope with
Mhm.
some lines inside it, and suck the blood from people. So what happened there, Fernanda, is still a mystery, but I think it's not a mystery from this planet.
Yeah, and you say that some witnesses. So it was about 8 different type of UFOs.
Yeah.
Okay, and some of the witnesses they saw beings inside this UFO. Is that correct?
Yes, like I show you,
Hmm.
like this. It was one of the UFOs.
Okay.
The witnesses that saw this shape, it's not an airplane. There's no wings.
Exactly.
There's
Yeah.
nothing.
Hmm.
And they were chatting in the front of their house, and this UFO just appeared in the sky, and they could see. It was just like a, um, a glass window or a glass wall, and inside of it, they saw two entities inside of it, maneuver something inside it, and suddenly a red laser beam just came out and hit one of them. It was four friends. It were four friends talking, and one of them were hit by this laser beam. So we don't have a lot of reports of beings, entities in this operation plate, but we have some cases. And what people most report was the shape, the photos of
Hmm.
the UFOs, like this.
Okay. Well, and after talking to so many witnesses, Thiago, tell us like how did these encounters affects their daily lives and their sense of safety?
Yeah, I spoke with one of the main witnesses of the whole, one of the most famous, I think it's the most famous
Hmm.
witness of the Operation Plate was Miss Aurora.
Okay. Yes.
There
Hmm.
she is when she was old. She was
Hmm.
younger, and the doctor was showing the mark of her breast, and she was attacked by one of the UFOs. And here she's with me and George Knapp
Hmm.
in her house. And I asked her if she was angry about what happened.
Hmm.
And she told me, no, I'm not. I'm not angry. I'm just wonder why me? Why the UFO or the Shupa Shupa hit me? Because I was side by side with my sister
Hmm.
outside of my house washing the dishes after the dinner.
Hmm.
I saw this huge ball of light coming very slow in the sky and just stood over a big tree and hit me with a laser beam. And I just fall. And I don't remember, I just remember being at the hospital,
Hmm.
surrounded by doctors, nurses. I was very sick, very tired, very nosy. But she told me she's not mad. She's just curious why they pick her up to do that. And the city of Colares, if you go there, the city of Colares, when like we speak here in Brazil,
Mm-hmm.
you take lemons and make a lemonade,
Yes.
and they did
Mm-hmm.
because the whole city there's a alien and UFO design and drawings and statues, everything, and signs and signs in Humaitá Beach where the militaries make a camp
Mm-hmm.
to do a sky watch. So I think now the city use it, the terrible events that happened almost 40 years ago, they use it to make a tourism and make money, of course,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and 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 put Colares in a UFO map.
And how old was Aurora back in 1977?
She was 18, 19, something like that, not older than that. And
Okay.
now she's almost 60.
Oh, wow.
And
How does
she's
she
very,
feels after all these years, Thiago?
she feels okay. She
Mm-hmm.
never had another sighting. She was not detected any. It's very curious because uh, I don't have any report of a person that were attacked twice, just
Mm-hmm.
once. And after that, well, she got scared. Of course, all of them got scared after being attacked. But the life goes on, and now she lives in the same city, in the same city, of course, not in the same house,
Okay.
but closer to older house. But now she's okay. Well, what happened to me happened to me. That's it.
Mm-hmm. She okay. And so we are talking about side effects here, and what the beside the Laura, like Aurora, what kinds of physical and health um, effects were documented in Colares?
Well, physical burns, scratch, and
Mm-hmm.
the people got nausea and very dizzy and very tired. Many all the people, and of course they got anemia. The most important aspect is anemia. And they were living in the north of Brazil. North of Brazil, we know that back in 1977, we had a lot of cases of malaria and yellow
Yes.
fever.
Mm-hmm.
But those people, there they had no other symptoms
Mm-hmm.
of malaria or the yellow fever. And all the people that were attacked and went to the hospital, they report the same thing. They were attacked by a light or by a craft, unknown craft, that hit them with a laser beam
Mm-hmm.
in the woman in the chest or in the neck or in the leg. And man, most part of the man was in the chest or in the neck.
Mm-hmm.
And
Interesting.
yes, and people start to scratch because they felt like something hot,
Mm-hmm.
bite of a bee, and they start to scratch, and they start to get dizzy and lost the conscience. And at least we know that one person died, but Mr. José Francisco,
Mm-hmm.
when I was speaking with him, he told me that he knew that at least two other people died because of that. And we are talking about an area of Brazil, the Amazon forest, the north of Brazil, is bigger than many countries in Europe. You can put many countries in Europe in the north of Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
The cities was very far from each other. If you want to go, well, for example, we were in Belém, the capital of Pará, and to go to Colares or Barcarena, we had to take a ferry boat 3 4 hours, and then road for 2 or 3 hours. So it's very far. Everything is far from each other, from each city. So we think that many people were attacked in the inner of the country, in the north of Brazil,
Mm-hmm.
but they never report back, and probably some had died
Mm-hmm.
and never know about it. No, they died because of yellow fever, malaria. He died because he got sick, because the demons, demons, because the gods, because I don't know. But we don't have all the reports.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's very interesting these cases, and the fact that some people say that it's a social experiment. It's impossible to be.
Mm-hmm. And you say that some witnesses they end up being in the hospital. So how did the doctors or local medical staff describe the condition of the victims? Like what the doctors, the healthcare, they were saying about this.
Yeah, they at first they don't believe it. They
Mm-hmm.
thought it was malaria or yellow fever or something disease.
Mm-hmm.
But many people start to look for them. And Dr. Velaide was a female doctor. She was one of the doctor that had many cases
Mm-hmm.
to analyze and investigate and treat. And she saw in the middle of the day a huge UFO over her head in a Colares, in the center of the Colares, the city of Colares. She was walking and she saw
Mm-hmm.
a bright, very big disc shape. And she attended a lot of people that were attacked by these crafts. And doctors from Belém, the capital, they also attended some people, and they start to not understand what's happened. And one thing is something that we cannot explain, Fernanda.
Mm-hmm.
Many of the medical reports of those people that went to the hospital just disappear. We know that the US was involved with some spy
Mm-hmm.
in the local newspapers to get information, photos.
Mm-hmm.
We know that some three letters agency, intelligence agency from the United States was also involved on this investigation, the investigation.
Mm-hmm.
And George Knapp told me about these reports and about the films. We have photos and films, but we don't have any film. We know that were recorded 22 hours of film,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't have it. And I was talking about George Knapp, and he told me, "Well, I think that the films are in USA." And I said, "Why, George? You say that?" Because a big friend of mine, I think that he knows
Mm-hmm.
about something about it. And what friend? Bigelow. So we're still looking for it,
Mm-hmm.
and this medical report would be very important, like a strong evidence that something happened there at Colares.
Wow. So everything went to United States. Mm,
As always.
always. So, so do you know what the Brazilian Air Force main objective was when launching Operation Saucer?
Yeah, the objectives were to investigate, to collect data, to understand what's happened, and giving an answer to the mayors, to the Ministry of Air Force.
Hmm.
But at the beginning, I think they don't believe it, that what was happened. And I say that because William Jolanda was the leader of the team of Operation Plate.
Yeah.
When he told to A.J. Javert and Marco Antonio in 1997, he told everything about the operation. And he told them that when he was dispatched to there, the leader of the team was Soldier Flavio,
Mhm.
and the Soldier Flavio asked him, Captain, do you believe in UFOs? And William J. Holanda said, no, I don't believe it. I never saw it. I have to see it. Well, they start to investigate. They got testimony and photos and everything. And one night, they were camping, make a vigil, and a huge UFO just crossed the sky over their heads and disappear. Huge UFO. And so their Flavio asked to Captain Holanda, and now, sir, do you believe? And he said, well, I think so.
So
So the objective
Captain
was that to investigate.
Captain Holanda, he actually
He saw
saw
many
the UFO.
times, many times, many times, and he believed it. He was skeptical at the beginning,
Mhm.
but then after see the UFOs and what was over his head and the photo that everything, he became a true believer that what was that was not a conventional, was not a human aircraft.
Do you have a image of the Captain
Yeah,
Orange Holanda?
here.
Yeah.
This photo was took when he was with A.J. Javert and Marco Antonio Petit in 1997.
Okay.
He was a very expert Air Force military. My father-in-law knew him,
Oh.
and he told me, "Wow, he's very skeptical. He's a very intelligent, very good military." So
Mhm.
to change from skeptical to believer was a great step, but he saw it.
Absolutely. And so, were the military teams able to see any of this phenomena themselves, besides Captain's Holanda? More
Where
military, yeah. They some more military they saw.
many,
They
many,
many. Okay.
many. The team was composed by 4 or 5 militaries,
Mm-hmm.
and some that just went back to their city and they changed the militaries, but all of the militaries saw it. All the militaries saw it, and also we had the priest, João de Law. We had deputies, we had the congressmen, we had the judges, we had the politicals, we had the reporters, photographers. Everybody saw at least once the UFOs in the sky. I told you 200,000 people in Maranhão and Pará state, they saw the UFOs.
A lot of
A
witnesses.
lot of witnesses.
Well, and it's a very interesting case, Thiago. Can you tell us why were the cases investigated during Operation Saucer so important for understanding UFO attacks in the Brazilian Amazon?
Yeah, this case from 1977 to May of 1978,
Mm-hmm.
but the attacks were from September to December of 1977. and January 1978. It's important because we have a lot of evidence. We do have a lot of evidence. We have photos. We have hundreds of reports, documents by militaries. We had the press covering everything. We had many witnesses. We had also the films. We know that we have the films. We don't have the films, but I'm gonna show you for the first hand a film made by the frames of original film. The frames.
Oh.
Let me see the frames here. Here. This is the frame. One part of the frame. Okay. And a crew of Rede Globo TV, they made a podcast about it, about Operation Plate, and they could create by artificial intelligence, they could create how this film would be. And I'm gonna show it to everybody how it's gonna be. It's amazing. It's amazing. You can see they took the frames.
And this is
and
the
put
original
together.
film?
Yes, they could the original. It's not the original film. It's the frame, original frames of a film, and they got all the frames put together, and using the artificial intelligence, they create how the film must be or should be. So if you watch the film, it should be like this.
Wow.
And this is a great evidence that something happened there. Something solid, something real, that so many people saw it. And militaries have a thousand of witnesses that something happened there.
And you are showing this to us in first hand.
Yeah.
This is really good. Thank you so much for sharing it.
You're welcome. I think the MUFON deserve it.
Yes, it does. So, wow, Thiago. And it's so much to talk about. I have your book here also in my hand. Do you have some documents? Yes, exactly. I highly recommend it, this book. How many pages, Thiago?
Almost, I think it's almost 400 pages, and with a lot of photos and newspaper clips from that age, and also a lot of reports, official reports here.
Yes.
And investigation, a lot of investigation as well. And drawings of UFOs that people saw. The triangles, we had triangles up there.
Yeah, we had a triangle also. Huh?
And this research was amazing because I knew when I investigated the Operation Plate since the 90s, when I started to get involved. And for me, when I start to write this book, I start to dig a lot of information that I never heard before. And that's many things that people outside of Brazil that never heard this before as well. So I think it's very, very interesting if you like this subject, because as I said in the beginning, there's no other record a record of this type of cases of UFO aircraft attacking people.
So you were showing me a triangle shape. Among the different types of lights and craft described in these attacks, which features appear most often, and what might this tell us about their origin and technology? Will be able to tell
Well,
us.
yeah, the most was lights like this.
Mm-hmm.
You can see you can see there's a shape, a
Mm-hmm.
rounded shape, but you cannot define the real shape. This one is like a disc shape,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't. I cannot say the how many of each shape it must be, but technology, well, could be a human technology, a craft that can fly and
Mm-hmm.
also dive in ocean, in a river or ocean, because Pará is there's ocean shore.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have this technology even today, and we have a lot of recently films made by militaries in the United States saying about the UFOs, the triangle UFOs or a tic tac UFOs diving in an ocean and flying to the sky. What technology is that? If it was a social experiment using experimental aircraft 40 years ago, where is this aircraft right now? We don't have it. We don't have. I don't know if we have some kind of airplane that
Mm-hmm.
can fly and also be a submarine with uh, underwater like more than 100 kilometers per hour,
Mm-hmm.
much more than that. Just case Shag Harbor is an example in
Yes.
Scotia,
Mm-hmm.
and we have a lot of UFO in the sky that go from a point to another in a second
Mm-hmm.
with technology. And what happened back there 40 years ago was a technology not human, because they did something that we cannot, or most advanced airplanes or submarines or ships do these days.
And Thiago, in this attack cases, is there any evidence of UFO that UFOs choose uh, sparsely populated or hard to reach areas?
No, no, they attack just woman, woman and man, not kids. There's no attack in kids. Um, and it doesn't matter if we're inside of a house, because I have many reports that people are sleeping in their bed and suddenly the ceiling just disappeared, became translucent, and they saw a UFO outside of the house and shoot a laser beam and hit the people and hit the person. And we have also reports that people was laying in a net or in a bed, and a laser beam just crossed the ceiling, the roof, hit the person, but didn't destroy the roof. So you could not hide, to be clear. And those days, the women and the kids and the elderly people, they try to protect themselves inside the church and start to pray
Mm-hmm.
their religion, while the men was outside, make fire, and use the shotguns and plates and make some noise to avoid the lights, the craft, but didn't work it. It doesn't did not work it. So there's not the only partner, if you say so, they didn't attack kids. That's it.
And everything happened in the Colares and area. Like Colares is an island, right? So
Yeah, they happen in Maranhão State and
also, yeah.
and in Pará and many cities near rivers or the ocean. We had Mosquito Island, Sun Island, Colares, Barcarena, Vigília, Belém. We had many cities in an area from Maranhão to Pará. So now we have also that we know that we had some attacks in Piauí state as well. It was published at the Revista UFO magazine by Dr. Marcos Aurélio wrote. He made a beautiful research showing that the Chupa Chupa attacked also at Piauí state. So we still discovering it. We still discovering news about these cases.
It was about the same time.
The same time. During the 70s, 77, 78, 80s, we still have new things to discover.
It's interesting. And so let's talk a bit about your book. So how does your book explain this link between UFO behavior and the lights that drain human energy, like those reported in Colares?
Yeah, I try to explain by my book with testimonies, with documents, with photos, with stories, and reports made by many people that were attacked, or people that investigated, or people that helped another one that was attacked. And this book, I'm not trying to explain because I have no explanation for that. I have no answer for that. In this book, I just trying to take as much information I could reveal to put in a book, to make a chronology of time since the beginning at the Crab Island in Maranhão, at the end of the investigation. So this book covered the most impacting part of the story of the Chupa Chupa attacks.
And Thiago, why was Operation Saucer suddenly shut down in 1978? This is a good question.
It is. The first mission was from September to December of 1977, and they shut it down. The leader was Captain Holanda, and he never know why they shut it down, because when he reported to his superior, Brigadier Protásio, he told the brigadier, I am that close to make a contact with the entities, that close. And the brigadier just said, well, okay, but the operation is closed. You can still investigate, but not investigate as a military of Brazilian Air Force. If you want to keep doing, that's no problem, but we are not investigation officially anymore. And Olanda said that he saw some militaries wearing military uniform
Mhm.
in another room, but they are not Brazilian uniforms.
Oh.
That's why Olanda thinks that they were from United States. And while I was there recording the show,
Mhm.
I spoke with people and Mr. Jose Francisco again, and he told me, "Oh, we have a lot of Brazilian military here, and some people from another country." And I asked him, "Why? How do you know they are from another country?"
Mhm.
And he told me because they speak a language that I could not understand.
Oh, same
And
thing as a Virginia incident.
yes,
Okay.
yes. So, and we know that the
Mhm.
United States were involved because our friend Carlos Mendes, the journalist
Mhm.
that wrote an amazing book as well about Colares, the Chupa Chupa, he and two of his friends, they got a spy, a Peruvian spy from the CIA or FBI, I don't recall,
Mhm.
inside the newspaper, trying to get information, photos, and testimony from people. And when they got they discover that this Peruvian that was there, oh, I'm a journalist from Peru and I want to be here to learn from you
Mhm.
how to investigate, something like that. He was lying. And when he was discovered, he told them, "Yes, I'm a spy. I'm from the FBI or CIA. I'm here to investigate this phenomenon. We
Mhm.
are looking for information, testimonies, evidence, photos, and films, and we're trying to get all the information from the newspaper." So the operation was closed, and we don't know why, but there's a rumors that the United States send a team, I don't know if militaries or intelligence agencies, to investigate from 77 to 78 people. Some ufologists say that until 1982.
Hmm. You were saying about Captain Orange Holanda. What role did the captain Holanda play, and what did he reveal years later? Can you tell us?
Yeah, he was a commander, the chief,
Mm-hmm.
the leader of the
Mm-hmm.
group, of the first group that investigate.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the many reports and photos and videos. And 20 years later, of the end of the first mission in 1977, he got in touch with AJ Javert and Marco Antonio Pichi,
Okay.
tell them that he wants to talk everything about the Operation Plate. Before that, uh, uh, we knew about the Operation Plate.
Mm-hmm.
It was secret, but we had some documents that was leaked already, and but we needed someone who was involved directly with the investigation or part of the operation or part of the mission or part of the team.
Mm-hmm.
And the person was Willis Yolanda.
And Thiago, what do you think? Why does Operation Saucer remain one of the most significant UFO investigations in history? This year,
Because, yeah, because all the evidence,
mm-hmm.
we have the documents, we have photos, we have witnesses, we have military involvement. We didn't have a Brazilian cover up
Mm-hmm.
because the press was there probably, and we were living in a dictatorial regime, military regime there back in 1977. So if we didn't have the media, the press there, probably this event will never be so published or known in Brazil and in outside of Brazil. So we have a lot of evidence. We have the photos. We just need the videos. I think, in my opinion, once we have the videos, this case could be the most impressive UFO cases, because of many cases in a history. Uh, just like Roswell, but it's gonna be bigger than Roswell because Roswell we don't have the UFO in our hands, and we don't have the aliens. And if we have all this evidence about the operation plate, it's gonna be a unique case.
Well, Thiago, so before we finish, since we are running a bit over time, I would like to ask you about the Netflix documentary you made with George Knapp on Operation Saucer. Could you tell us a bit about the remarkable project and how that experience eventually led you to write your own book?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was a pleasure to me to be with George and V. V was the first human helicopter pilot in a war in Afghanistan or Iraq. I don't remember, but she was a pilot. And to be part of this series, that it's a great series. The Brazilian the Colares is just a second episode of the series, and the rest of the series is amazing. They made a great research and effort to get all the informations. When they invite me to be part of the series, I asked them, "Find me? Where did you find me?" And they asked me, "Well, we asked for the most important ufologists in Brazil." Name. So thank you. And it was it's a very honor to me. And George, well, George is the person who brought to the world Bob Lazar. Just that, just that. And he loves the subject. He lives to investigate the UFO phenomena. And I hope we have a second season, a third season, a fourth, because we have a lot of cases here in Brazil and thousands of cases around the world. This series was very important because it's not a fiction, it's a real thing. They went to get information and UFO cases around the world with evidence. So we had evidence in all of the episodes of this series. And for me to be side by side with George and V was a great experience.
Wow. When that happened was last year, 2 years ago, Tiago?
Yes, so we recorded in 2023, 23, I think.
I think 2023.
Yeah. We recorded on well, my part was we're recording in February or January, and the series were released in October, November, something like that.
Amazing. It's all amazing. It's Operation Saucer is it's it's a very interesting case. So, Thiago, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge, your experience with us today, and your insights continue to bring light to one of the most compelling UFO cases of all time. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us today. And remember, if you are seeking the truth, you will surely find it. So Until next time, stay tuned, keep looking to the skies, and see y'all next time.
Bye-bye.
UFO reports come in from around the world, the Mutual UFO Network is there. We continue to explore new cases and build our massive database. We share our information with the world in a number of ways. If you'd like to be part of our investigative team, you are always welcome.